So in this week's Time with Tim, I'm talking about investing in key individuals. So last week we spoke about investing in yourself. In the weeks that come, we're going to talk about investing in whole teams or organizations, depending on your level of leadership, scale, and scope. And then finally, investing in stakeholders. But today, investing in key individuals. And this is just a quick sort of suggestion here. And then there's the longer 10 with Tim video that you can find on our website or YouTube channel if you want to explore my thoughts on this topic further. So to my mind and in my experience, there's really three ways to think about who you choose to invest in as a key individual. And then there's innumerate different ways that you can invest in them, but there's one key question that you need to ask in order to understand how to do that. So first of all, how do you choose the key individuals? Well, there's two elements of value. You can think about those who are creating the most value, and then you can think about those who are most living your values or the organization's values. I think those are the two sort of key areas of examination that I would recommend you do, and I'll come to some examples of those in a moment. And then the third one really is in who has essentially sort of adapted most effectively right now, because I think that we're not going to experience any sort of normalcy again for some foreseeable time. So the ability to continually adapt and keep pivoting and shifting and changing, that in of itself is a vital skill set. So someone who is already demonstrating a willingness and an ability and the resilience to keep adapting, in of itself, I would say that demonstrates that you're going to get a good ROI from an investment in that person. But the first two, with a little bit of example, so value creation. I mean, this is a very familiar term these days. Who is creating the most value? And I think the contention that I would have is you need to decide if it's important that someone's creating value for you and is enabling your leadership to be more impactful, or it's someone who's creating more value for the group that your leadership is most contributing to. So whether that's customers, or it's suppliers, or it's an external customers or an internal customer group, who's creating the most value for them, invest in them, and that'll be a compounding investment return, because investing in them, developing them, will increase the contribution and the value that they create to those other stakeholder groups. The second area is thinking about who's living your values. Now, this to me is the most sustainable investment in key individuals because it pays out over the longest period of time. Will it be an immediate return? Does it pay back in the short term? I believe so, but arguably it pays out far greater in the medium and the long term. And the reason for that is that in my experience, and I can go right back to my earliest leadership roles in 2005-06, the people that were in my teams who best lived the values that we were devoting ourselves to, those were the ones who became and maintained high performance status for a long period of time. People who came and immediately created a lot of value but didn't live the values, they came and went, often quite spectacularly. But you might have a slower burn early, but the longer performance and the greater performance over an extended period of time always, in my experience, comes from people who live the organization's values and or the values of the team. Okay, so those are essentially my thoughts on a basic decision-making metrics that you can use to decide who to invest in. And the question that you need to then ask is, of those individuals, what do they most need in order to contribute more than they are currently? Because that's what you need from them. That's the simple question. What do you need? Some people might need more support. Some people might need an investment in skills or capability development. Some people might need more flexibility in the workplace. Some of them might just need a little bit more of your time and attention. Others may feel that they don't really need very much, so then you can make a suggestion. And all of this obviously moderated around how much time, energy, effort, resources, money do you have available to invest in them, and that will obviously be a negotiation. That is essentially my view on key individuals to invest in, who's creating value, who's living your values, who's most adaptable or is demonstrating adaptability, and then ask that question, what do they need to deliver more of a contribution? I hope that's helpful. Check out Time with Tim if you want to go deeper into this topic. If any of the ideas I've shared today are of interest to you and you'd like to explore them further, head to 4iLeadership.com/insights, and there you'll find the 10 with Tim extension video where we go into more detail on this topic.